Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. In case we haven't met, my name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And I almost lost track of time. I know I'm about 15 seconds late, but so I did lose track of time. But I'm here, and I'm excited to create a fun little card today. A little bit different than usual. It's got a shape to it. So I'll just give people a little bit longer to get on. If you are logged into YouTube and have the ability to chat, please let me know you're here and let everybody else know where you're watching from. So today was an exciting day. It started last night. So many of you know that I work at a church. I'm the administrator there. And one of my responsibilities is kind of overseeing the building because I'm the one that can. I don't know. I can't really, but so it's been really snowy up here in the Northeast, and so we've had a lot of snowy and then really bitterly cold, and so it's been rough, and like there's a lot of ice damming going on. And for those of you who don't know what that is, if your roof isn't well insulated or ventilated, then it can, stuff starts to melt, and then it freezes at night, and so ice can form at the edge of your roof and it backs up, and then the water can come underneath it as it starts to melt again, and then it needs to find a way out. And usually the way out is through the roof and not any other way. So we had a leak yesterday at church, and I'm like, oh no. So got it straightened out today, hired some people to shovel off the roof, because I was not sending up some volunteers, because it's icy and it's a roof and sounds dangerous. So let's some professionals do it today. So that's all squared away, and I am ready for a vacation, but that's not coming until the end of March. So we're going to think summertime today, and we're going to think butterflies. And I'm going to turn this camera down, and so we can get started. All right, let's just fix this a little bit so that you can see everything right. Ooh, let's see. Let's look. Hey, let me show you this. These are cards that I got a long time ago from Stampin' Up, obviously, and they are so ratty and so gross. But every now and then, when I'm editing videos and I'm just listening for things I have to change, I take them out and I play solitaire. But I wish they'd come back with some more stuff like that, because I totally get some. I want some new swag, Stampin' Up. I want some new clothes. I want some new swag. Lots of things. So we are going to create a butterfly-shaped card. And so this is just a little card, great for a thank you note. And it's really easy to do. So I'm going to use the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. Now the bundle comes with a stamp set and a hybrid embossing folder. So you can use the embossing folder by itself, and that will put, all these butterflies on your cardstock. Or you can use them in conjunction with the dies, which you can use the dies by themselves, or you can use them in conjunction with the hybrid folder. So the 3 whole butterflies, so this outline, and this outline, and this outline all fit in the embossing folder. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to use the dies and the stamps. I'm going to use this one and this one. And you're going to help drive this ship. And now I'm a little worried because nobody's chatting with me. So I don't know how that's going to go. Maybe somebody will hop on here. We need to figure out what color card base to use. And I've got some choices for you. I've got Bubble Bath and Fresh Freesia. I've got Summer Splash, which is one of the in colors. I've got Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, and Calypso Coral. What color should I use? Anybody watching tonight, can you chime in? Where's my friend Sheila? Sheila usually says hello, and she's usually on here on Friday nights. She wasn't last week because if you recall, she was in Iceland, which she had a very good time, I believe. So she's back, but maybe she's just trying to catch up and rest up after a very event-filled week. So what color am I going to choose? Because nobody's choosing for me. Let's go ahead. I kind of want to see what it looks like in this color. It's kind of a nice bold color. So Summer Splash. We're going to get out our paper trimmer here. Now, if you look at the size card that I made, which is right here, it looks to be just under 5 inches wide. So if I cut a strip 5 inches wide here, and then score this in half at 4 1/4, that's going to be a good place to start. Now, Stampin' Up! Has given, and you can go ahead and just fold it to make the fold easier to see. Stampin' Up! Has given some ideas about this. So if you look in the mini catalog, wrong way, I think it's the other way. If you look in the mini catalog, on the second page where that beautiful bokeh suite is, it shows you how to make a butterfly card. And it says cut out your card front with the large butterfly die, then flip the die around and line its top edge to the edge of the cut butterfly. After that, die cut the back card. Yeah, you don't have to do that. If your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine runs kind of tight, you may have to. But I found that mine works just beautifully and will cut through 2 layers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in this die right here. And if you notice, there is a line right here and a line right here. Let's see if I hold it still long enough, maybe it'll come into focus. Maybe if I take away my hand. Let's see. Maybe if I drop it down a little bit. That's really, okay, there we go. Okay, well, take my word for it. There's a little line in the middle there and a line over there. So what we're going to do, and what I like to do on mine, is just on the very edge here, in the little crease that the score line makes, I'm just putting a little pen mark because sometimes it's hard to see. So I'm going to line these little lines that are on my die just above that a little bit. So I want that to come just above the crease ever so tiny a bit. If you don't, it'll still come out okay, but it will just have a little bit of a lip. And this is how you avoid the lip. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I wanted to make a card though, didn't I? So, okay, now we're making a card. We've just folded it in half. I guess I could have just not made any marks on it because I was folding it in half. Forgot what I was doing here for a second because I've been playing and prepping for tomorrow's Clubhouse. The Clubhouse this month, which is my first month of doing Clubhouse, which is a subscription class. My first month is this month, and we're going to be playing with the beautiful bokeh suite. So let me go ahead and put this on here. I don't think anything moved. Ugh, all right. It is tight. Oh, wait a second. I did determine that it's probably a good idea maybe to go through it twice. Don't worry about that cracking sound. That's fairly normal. All right. We will need that again, but not right now. So here we have our card. I'm going to carefully remove this part. All right. And because we've run it through twice, I need to clean my folders. there's just like this ever so slight edge where the edge of the die kind of cuts in. But look, we've got a cute little butterfly. Now there are a couple other things that we're going to need for this card. One, oh, and when you're choosing a card for this, unless you want to cut another butterfly to go in here as a layer, you want to make sure that the card is light enough for you to write on. And this one will be fine if I write in black ink. But what I want to do is I want to add a little color here. And I also want to add a black body. So the body is there, but I can get a new one just by taking a scrap of basic black. So I'm going to just reach in my little scrap folder here and pull out a skinny scrap. I'm just going to put that in the center there, and that's going to cut out the body. And I don't want to lay it totally parallel to the end here because it's easier on your machine if you don't. So I'm going to lay it like that. And I also want a label. So I want to use this label, whether I choose it for happy birthday or some other sentiment, doesn't matter. All right, you know what, I've got another piece over here. So let me just make this a little smaller so we can just play in one pass. We're gonna cut that first. And just because it's skinny and I've got more than one thing on there, I'm gonna just take this one down. I think this one's all set. Let's bring back our machine. And we'll go ahead and that should not be parallel either, right? Do that. Crash is trying. He's begging to come in. My husband's not letting him in. Pretty soon he'll get sick of him meowing out there, though, and scratching at my door, and he'll let him in. I'm confident of that. All right, so we're done with this die now. Put it over there so we don't lose it. And we're done with this die now. There we go. Get rid of the tape. Okay, now for our butterfly, we don't need all this extra that's over here. So I'm gonna trim up here, just sort of pretend I know what the curve of the butterfly body would look like. And do the same thing on the other side. So I like come in a little bit and then curve out. That's pretty good. I think I want him a little skinnier though. I want that body just a little bit skinnier. We have to even it up on the other side too. All right, I think that's good. Let's just test it out here. All right, so yep, that'll fit very nicely right there. Or maybe it goes this way, I'm not sure. Yep, that looks good, just like that. But before I adhere it, I want to do something else to it. We're going to stamp it. Crash got let in. Crash is all excited to join us tonight. I mean, this is part of his Friday night routine, you know. All right, so in this stamp set, there are these wings here, and they're very, very similar. They're just slightly different. And one goes on one side, one goes on the other, but it actually is, they both go on both sides, just on the diagonal. It'll be easier if I show you. So one side has a side that's a little bit flatter, like this is a little bit more round, and this one is a little bit flatter. So the straight edges, we're going to kind of line up with the straight edges here. Now let me get my black ink out because I thought that would make a really nice contrast. Ink it up really well. And so the flattest side of my wing right here is this one right here. So I'm going to just have it run parallel, but in the center of that wing right there. Now, because I stamped with this one here, that's the one I'm going to use up here. And this flat side again will go along with the flat side there. Ooh, I didn't ink it properly over there. And I did re-ink my pad right before I came, so there's some getting into some areas where it shouldn't. You'll just have to pretend that it was a really well stamped piece. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I knew I was gambling by re-inking it right before I came in, but it really needed it, so I had to do it. All right, I'm just going to re-stamp this. We'll see if I can do it. We'll see. That's close. It's not exactly right, but it's close. So I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to just gently tap. I think I pressed down too hard before. All right, I'm going to find the flattest side here. And flat side's there. We're going to put this right in the middle up at the top. And then we're going to come down on the bottom. Yeah, it's the middle that's really juicy here. That's always the part that goes first. So that's the part that I concentrate on inking. I'm going to turn this around, and we're going to try to put it right in the center of this one right here. Okay, so now we have some nice contrast there. Also in this set, we've got these little dots, and I think those are going to fill in nicely right up here at the top. I'll just sort of orient it. And there we have some dots up at the top. And let's see. Nope, I like it the other way. Just that. Okay. So there we have all that. And now we're going to take, and I could do this in a color and not black, but I think I like it in black. So let's keep the words going here in black. And so I've already got those mounted as well somewhere. Now, if I were asking somebody what to stamp, do you want So Thankful for You or Happy Birthday? Oops, that was my tape runner. Let's go with So Thankful for You again. I'm going to stamp that right there. And these are photopolymer stamps, so you can see right where you are stamping. Well, I have to come a little bit closer to me so that I can see over the top just a little bit. Still hard around the camera. Well, and I got a little ink spot there, but you get the idea. I can fix that afterwards. I can restamp a new one. But you get the idea. So I'm going to just take some dimensionals here. Get my dimensionals out. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. And if I wanted to, I could get out some, let's see, I wonder if any of this stuff would look good there. The gold thread might look good behind there, but you know what really might look good is the white. If I could find my white. I think though, oh, I know, I'm saving my white for a class that I have on Monday. So no white. Let's see how the gold thread looks. Let's see if I have anything else over here. Nothing thin enough, so let's just try something. Let's just try a little gold. Oh, we need to put this guy's body on too, don't we? Let's do that before we forget. And by before we forget, I mean before I forget. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little line of glue right there. All right. Let's see what would it, what would it look like? I'm not going to cut this yet because I might not really like how it goes. But what would it look like if I just did something like that over the top? It looks like a hot mess. We're not going to do it. We're just going to go for plain and simple. Because, I mean, after all, what's the star of the show here, right? It's the card. And again, I'm really sorry that I chose to re-ink right before coming. And since I've got that splotch and I've got this splotch, I might as well just go ahead and cover it up. So we have that card and it opens up. Now, I just had an idea. I had an idea, but now it's gone, so never mind. I thought I was going to cut something that was shaped this way, but it would be really difficult to cut something very nicely there. So I probably just won't use this card. I'll probably just use the other card that turned out nicely. This, by the way, for those wondering, this is a mango color that is retired. Oftentimes when I'm experimenting to see if I can do something, like in this case, see if I could run 2 thicknesses through to create the card in just one pass, I'll use retired paper to do that. So there we have our card, and it just opens up like that. We could certainly decorate it with some gems. And if you were feeling like you really, really were wanting to bling something out, let's go ahead and bring in, I could bring in these things. These are the pecan pie and white ribboned gems. I somehow lost the packaging that confirms that, but I know that's what they are. So we could just, we could just put some of these around here. You could really, if you wanted to, you could bling it out a lot and put one everywhere. I don't think I'm going to do that though, because that's a lot. So let's go ahead and let's do 3 on that side. Oh, that's an adhesive right there. And we'll do 3 on the other side, of course. So there's 1. And 2. And 3. So that blings it up a bit, don't you think? So it really wasn't a very hard card. And it would have been much easier if I hadn't re-inked my pad right before coming live, but you can see what the process is. Now I will say, if any of you that are watching live are local, tomorrow I am having my first Clubhouse class, and while Clubhouse registration for this month has closed, if you would like to come try it out and make some of these cards, you won't get all the things that the Clubhouse people get. They're paying a little bit more, and they are getting a lot more. They're getting almost $25 worth of merchandise, half a package of DSP and half a package of basic note cards and envelopes, and they're getting a package of the itty bitty bokeh mixed gems, and they're getting all sorts of stuff. You'll get exactly what you need to make the cards. So if you'd like to come out and make some cards, then I have room for 2 people to make one card of each, and it would be I take it back. You'll get a little bit extra because I'll give you 12 sheets of the 6x6 bokeh DSP, and so it'll be $25 if you would like to come. But you'll have to let me know tonight so I can prep, and I'm gonna put that announcement on Facebook. But anyway, let me turn this back around. All right, here I am. So thank you so much for joining me, and I cannot stop playing with these butterflies. They are so fantastic. I love just using the stamps alone, and I'll show you my cards that I designed for Clubhouse. maybe a little bit later after the Clubhouse people have seen them all. But there's one that uses just stamps. There's another one that uses just dies and a sentiment stamp. And then there's one that uses the embossing folder, the hybrid embossing folder with the dies. So like I've tried to change it up, and it's just no matter which way you do it, you can't make a bad butterfly card. Well, unless your ink pad is a little bit too juicy, but it's still a cute card. It's just not perfect. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Up here in the Northeast, it's going to start rising in temps. And so time to get out and enjoy the snow because it's beautiful. Have a great weekend, everybody.